welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host Sam, and we are back again with another one. So I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. Before we even go far, do me a favor, click the like button, subscribe to the Connect as we get into an interesting talk. We're going to have an interesting discussion about the Liverpool manager Arne Slot, because of course we have had one of the best opening in the season in a long time. Yeah, in a long time, to be honest, because I don't think I remember even in our year that we won the league in 2019-2020 season, that we actually played it almost most of the games, first 3 games without conceding a goal. But it has happened under this manager, and this manager is playing this is his first time actually coming to England and given this opportunity. So the purpose of this thing, sorry, I'm fixing myself here. The purpose of this, of course, is why I'm gonna try to maybe make a case why Arne Slot deserved to be awarded the manager of this manager of the month. I'm gonna try to give an idea to explain why he actually deserves to be awarded as manager of the month, or maybe try to give even some better analysis of how he is really good, at the same time confuses a lot of people, but we are here for it. So I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. Where are you watching us from, and what do you think of Liverpool's perfect start? What has impressed you the most with Arne Slot, the way he has approached the game, and how he's really taking advantage of a lot of things that is happening, and actually enjoying turning this Jurgen Klopp's team into something special. So we need to start talking about this manager, because history-wise, history tells us that at Feyenoord, the club that he won we won the league, like his first league, as well as some of the cups. One thing that we were told was that this team was inconsistent in terms of every single time they were replacing the players that the manager had every season. If he had a good team, some of the players will be sold and they go buy again. In fact, in the season that we just finished, where they finished, I think they were now third in the season, or maybe second, I'm not really sure. He had 19 new players. 19 new players. So he had to start from scratch to rebuild a new squad. So the one thing that I've come to know of this guy, if we're looking at him from the Feyenoord side, the team that made him one of the most, the team that got him where we are to, for maybe Liverpool to actually started paying attention to him, and maybe Tottenham last summer. Every single summer he was starting to rebuild a new team and try to teach new roles to different players. And it's coming to Liverpool, where there's a already made team, and he has an opportunity to play around with everything that is there, and play around with it and create anything that he wants. That's really something special of him. So that's a bit of history about him. But what I'm actually here to talk about is how he has managed to create this perfect start, and maybe why he deserves to actually be awarded as manager of the month, if you really think about it, because I think the nominations are coming out anytime soon during this international break of the manager of the month, of the first month of October. And one thing that we've come to know, I have a pain inside my mouth a bit, so it's going to be a bit difficult for me to actually speak properly. But anyway, I'm going to try. I will have to fight through the pain. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I've delayed this video. People, you've been waiting for this for a long time, and I've been delaying with it. But it's actually out now. We're going to be talking about our manager, and maybe give some stats to people to actually understand why it's really exciting. So one of the people that I listened to talking about Arne Slot said something that was interesting, that it's a bit difficult to give Arne a certain position, in terms of it's difficult to actually say this is slot ball. Something that most of the people have analyzed and actually looked at what it does. It's difficult because when people are comparing him to any manager in the Premier League, they said defensively is like Mikel Arteta, attacking wise, and they're putting pressures like Jurgen Klopp. Passes and movement, the wake of his midfield, it's like more of a De Zerbi, more of a Pep Guardiola type. He always has a way to play. So he combines all this managers and put them all together, pressing, trying to win the ball fast. It's all Jurgen Klopp, and we can see it clearly. Nothing really has changed from how the likes of Salah, the likes of Diaz, the likes of all the players that are in this team. Whenever they're trying to win the ball back, they do it like Klopp. But rather than Klopp getting the ball and going on the attack, he waits and brings back the ball and start passing up and open up teams and take advantage of the spaces that are opened up. And that's how the score goes. And it's really been exciting to see, especially as I'm talking to you on this video. We are coming from an exciting win that we just saw against Manchester United. And there's a lot of things that we got to see from Arne Slot in his first 3 games that maybe forced me to come and make this video, because I'm going to try to show you something. So if you could to follow with me today, I don't have a mouse, people, so I'm going to have to use my hands, which is going to be a bit difficult than I'm actually used to. But anyway, we're going to try to make it work, because that's what we're here for. Let's talk football here. So I'm going to try to show you something interesting here, people, as you look at all the things that I'll be presenting to you, looking at what we have seen. As you can see on the screen, this is I think this gives us an analysis of all we saw in the game between Manchester United and Liverpool, how the Liverpool players for the past, I think for the first time, I can actually say that this was the first time seeing Andy Robertson with the lower points tally in terms of actually the rating. But all the Liverpool players that we've watched, they've always had a higher rating in terms of performance and what they've been doing. So maybe this is actually for my test the first time seeing him and Trent Alexander-Arnold having a lower rating like this. But I wanna highlight something from this midfield, because I want you to pay attention. I'm gonna click on Dominic Szoboszlai, and I want you to look at his area, his heat area. It's really important that you pay attention to this. This guy is supposed to be playing. Remember, Arne Slot plays that 4-2-3-1 formation, and I want you to see something in terms of Dominic Szoboszlai, because he is the guy who's high on that in terms of the performance. Look at the way he's covering. Look at where he's covering. He is almost like everywhere on the pitch. He's on the left, he's on the right, he's also at the back, he's also at the front. It's difficult to tell exactly which position he was playing, but also look at McAllister, the guy we've come to know that maybe he's going to be playing as the guy who knit things up to help the team build up. And look at him. He's playing, of course, on the left side, which he is going to be covering so much of the times, but also we are seeing Molly at the back, Molly like a DM, as well as also on the right side, as well as also on the other side. He's always where he's needed to be. And let's look at Ryan Gravenberch, the star of the show. Everyone has really been impressed by him. This guy started playing as a DM, but look at his heat map. The guy, we cannot even see if he's actually playing as a DM in this game. Yet we have been told, and that's what we've been talking about all this long, that Ryan Gravenberch, he's actually going to be used as a DM for Liverpool. It's really, really interesting, because I'm going to move on to the game that we watched under Arne Slot. I just wanted to re-highlight this thing. This was the game against Manchester United. For all people who might be wondering, which game is this? This was the game between Liverpool and Manchester United. I'm going to move on to the game that we played before this one, which of course was the Brentford game. And I want you to tell me something that you notice from what I'm trying to highlight to you here, people. And that's I think it's really important to give us an idea of, or maybe an understanding to what I'm trying to teach. I'm trying to show you here. This is the game against Brentford, and I'm gonna go back again. We're gonna look at those players again, so that maybe you get to see what I'm talking about here in more in depth, because that's why I'm saying it's gonna be really, really difficult to tell what slot ball is to anyone who thinks that is a nerd and understands how to tell football. It's gonna be really, really difficult to tell what slot ball is, because it's always changing. Anyway, let's look at Dominic Szoboszlai again. His heat map on this game as well. Look at his position, because we're attacking this. Look where he was playing. You see, he's more attacking, covering that kind of like of the right side, where Trent Alexander-Salah is covering on that right side, going forward, going back a bit to help Trent Alexander-Arnold in defense whenever Trent is going forward, but also covering that position. One thing you have seen about the Dominic Sobos, like the difference between him at the United game and him on this Brentford game is this: he's not going to the left side to play to cover for to play on the Robertson position, or maybe going to even McAllister's position. But also look at this. Let's move on to the next player who's gonna be on that double pivot. Alex McAllister. Look at where he's playing. He's morely on the right, on the left side, of course, where we expect him to be playing, especially when it talks about that. It's not actually a 4-2-3 for him, it's a 4-3-3, but he uses his midfielders differently. They rotate, they interchange, and they play around with. Look at where McAllister is. He's like on the Luis Diaz position, coming a bit on the side to cover maybe for Szoboszlai whenever there's that movement, or even for Trent, as well as maybe coming at the back. But there's something that we're not seeing. He's not at that DM position in which we saw in the United game, because that position has been taken by our very own Ryan Gravenberch. Ryan Gravenberch was playing as the central DM. Whenever we're in attack, this is where he was. Whenever we are also in attack, he's here. Defense is back. You look at his position, it was from the center going forward and coming back, forward and coming back. That's what makes it a bit difficult for people to tell exactly how these guys are working, because it feels like the way these guys plays, they adjust according to what the team that they're facing. I can give you another example, and I want you to notice, pay attention to these guys that I'm showing you, because it's really important for you to have an idea of what they're doing. You have to understand how they're being used by the manager, and I think it's really important to see here how he was using them here. Anyway, let's go back again. Let's just click that and go back again to the first game we played against Ipswich Town. Ipswich Town. Yeah. Anyway. Game against Ipswich Town. The first game that we got to see Arne Slot in full force in the Premier League in a competitive match. Let's look at our midfielders again, because their heat map will tell us a lot about how they were used. McAllister did not even perform well according to here. Look at Dominic Szoboszlai. Always important. We were in attack, but it feels like he was playing like a defender. One player who has played three different roles, yet we are still being told is the number 10 player. And yet, when you look at that, there's less of him in that position of that number 10. In fact, the number 10 is supposed to be in the middle. He's not even there. He's at the wing, or he's on the right, on the left side, on the right side or on the left side. Not where you expect him to be. His most heat map is actually on the back side. Does this make sense, people? Does this make sense when you look at it? Let's look at McAllister, where they're actually saying that did not perform well. Look at where he's covering. That left side and coming back. Left side, coming back. And even taking on that number 10 position, if you look at where the heat map is here. Taking on that number 10 position. That was where McAllister was playing on this game. And let's look at Ryan Gravenberch. Look at him. He's not even at all at the DM position we expect him to be, where he's here. Because if you look at what I just showed you, let me put another player here. Let me put Dominic Szoboszlai here. As well as maybe let me open again Ryan Gravenberch here. Where did that thing go? Where did Ryan Gravenberch go? I can't find my Ryan Gravenberch here, people. Oh, come on. Just open for me. Anyway, I'm failing to open my Ryan Gravenberch, people. Let me just reload it a bit small. But I don't know if you can tell what I'm talking about here. These are three players who have been used in three different positions at the same time. Wherever the other player is not covering, the other player is covering. And it's a bit difficult for those people who think maybe can explain football much better it's difficult to tell exactly what these guys are going to be doing, because they can do it all. They can do it all if they have to. They can do it all if they have to. So what I did there, look at this. This was the game against Ipswich. This were the roles of all our midfields in terms of their heat map. Brian Gravenberch was playing more like an attacker. Next near to McAllister as well, covering that area of attack. Dominic Szoboszlai was dropping back, helping at the back side to make sure that the game moved according to what Liverpool wanted to see. So who is really the DM here when you look at it? Remember, we talked about it, we don't have a DM and we need, and we've been really excited with what Ryan Gravenberch has been doing. But in this Ipswich Town, this is how the team was set up. Let's go back to the first thing, this one. Hold this in your mind, people. Hold this in your mind, because it's really important to pay attention how maybe we think that we understand how Arne Slot is playing, but we are so lost that maybe we are just guessing and throwing a lot of things about what this manager is really going to do with our team, or with Liverpool. And I'm excited for him to be the manager, because it's unpredictable. That's what I'm saying. It's unpredictable. It's difficult for Eric Ten Hag to sit down and prepare for this team. It's difficult for any other manager in the Premier League to sit down and actually prepare for Liverpool, because they don't know how they're going to set up. They have no idea how this team sets up. Let's go back to that Brentford game again. Let's go back to that Brentford game. Sorry that I'm taking the long road because I don't have the mouse and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm going to try by means to show you all the things that I'm trying to present here. Here's our marker. Here's our Szoboszlai. And we need our Gravenberch. That's the last one that is left. We need our Ryan. Here's our Ryan. Here's our Ryan. Here's our Ryan. Look at where Ryan was covering. Look at where Szoboszlai was covering. And look at where McAllister was covering. So when you put this, it's just that this app cannot do this, but when you put all these heat maps together, you can see that each and every one of these players, they're covering a role. The central part is being covered by Ryan Gravenberch, who we expect him to be a DM, by the way. It's being covered by him, which is exactly the position he's playing. The right side of that is being covered by McAllister. No, the right side is being covered by Dominic Szoboszlai, and also the right side is being covered by the left side is being covered by McAllister. So it means that they are spreading up. It might be different position. The other one might be a bit higher, the other one might be a bit lower, but all the position have been covered by all these guys. So I think it's safe to say that Slot's Liverpool play in any interchangeable position that they are put on, because when you look at the average position of each and every player, looking at where Konate was, Gravenberch was, McAllister was, as well as the attacks, he's supposed to be number 9, by the way, Diogo Jota. Can you see him anywhere near the position where he can actually influence the game? Because guess what? And where Salah is, guess where Dominic's where this guy's covering? Where Dominic Szoboszlai is covering. And look where Gravenberch is covering as well as him. And look where Diaz is covering. So it's not about what we want to see. It's about how he wants his team to work. It's about what makes his team tick, what gives him the points he wants, what makes him win the game, what allows him to actually have advantage over the team. He will make it happen because he's not really going to be controlled by what the rest of the world expects him to do. And that's what makes him a more different manager than what the rest of the world thought they knew of him. And it's exciting to see, people. It's really exciting to see. It's really exciting to see, because I don't know what to expect when it comes to this manager no more. But I'm also excited over what can happen when we're playing the likes of Arsenal, the likes of City, as well as those other big teams. Because the reason why I was able to come out here with so much confidence and so much chest after the United game, it's because I saw something different I've never seen. Even I cannot even compare from the first game. I could not compare, but all of the things worked together to produce the best performance in the game. This is against United. McAllister was the DM in this game. Soboslai was morely the facilitator, making sure that he covers that position. From every position he needed to be, he was there. So he was given what we call a free role to move around everywhere he wants to go. And Ryan Gravenberg, his mission was to make sure that he cuts out all the passes from the midfield to Marcus Rashford. Hence why he was very close to Marcus Rashford. You have to pay attention. This is why, if you wonder why it was Gravenberg on that side, the left side, it's because that's the side where United wanted to take advantage of the speed of who? Of Rashford. So they were going to make sure that most of the times by default, because he's the senior player, I know Garnacho is growing, but because by default he's the main player, they were going to use Molly on the side of Rashford. That's where Slot told Gravenberg to be the guy who's there. If they hit it long balls, it's going to go on top of you. But if they're going to try to pass it from the floor, you have the long legs, you will intercept everything that they do. And that's exactly what that happened. So many people are talking about how Rashford was not in the game, how he did not. No, it's because Slot had an answer for him. Slot had an answer for him. That's why Gravenberg was here. Every ball that Casemiro, Menu, even Bruno Fernandes at some point tried to kick going to Rashford, it always felt like it was dropping on one position, and that position was where our number 36, 37 was at, Ryan Gravenberg. Using his area of expertise, his speed, his way of winning the balls and helping the team and then moving over and taking advantage of the spaces which has been opened, he did that to perfection. And that's what so many people are not paying attention here. It's like this guy sits down, look at all the teams, their strength, their weaknesses, but he does not only look at them at the position of us saying, okay, this is their strength, so what's going to happen? He looks down and see, what can I do to take advantage of whatever they're going to try to do? How can I hurt them? How can I open them up? How can I get the best of these teams? Right now, I'm sure right now he's studying the teams that he's going to play when we are back from the international break, because, of course, games are going to be coming thick and fast. But one thing is studying how this team plays and how he can use the players he has within the team to take advantages and how he's going to set them up. I'm sure that's what he's doing right now with his team. While we are all bored and he's talking about it, right now I'm busy analyzing everything. We are all bored and stuff. He is working on that. And he does that because as we can see, he's really good at taking advantages and analyzing other teams and knowing how to stop them from actually doing anything. And that's why we're here now. That's why we're here now. That's why we have not been scored. That's why we have been running around with the whole game. That's why it felt like we are dominating. That's why we are taking advantage of this team. Look at this. He allowed United to play. If you look at the position and stuff, United had more passes than Liverpool. Look here up top where my mouse is at. They had more accurate passes than Liverpool. They had more throw and they were running the game, people. They were running the game. Every single thing was actually in United's favor. But Liverpool stopped them in the area where they could take advantage, where they could actually have the best. Liverpool stopped them. And that was it. It was like, I cannot keep up with this United team. I cannot run around and try to win or actually take advantage of this team. I'll allow them to have the ball. I'll allow this United team to have the ball. I'll allow them to make so many passes. I'll allow them to do whatever they can do. But whenever they want to take advantages of the opportunities, take advantages of the places that they're creating. I'll be there to intercept and actually be there to take advantage. I will use the likes of Dominic Soboslai to set them up to actually take advantage and get the opportunity to get that. So why am I saying that maybe? Why am I saying that Arne Slot should be awarded as manager of the month? I think with all the things that I've just said, I think I've given you so many things to explain how he's messing up. He's really rewriting rows of midfielders. In these, I think one thing that makes Klopp a perfect manager is that he always wants midfielders who are not only stuck in one position. He wants midfielders that can play any role. McAllister can play as a DM, can also play as an attacking as well as a number 10. Dominic Soboslai can play as well in that double pivot we've seen him play, can also play as well as somebody who can work on the recovery and destroying in the midfield as well as an attacking one. Same as Ryan Gravenberch. But the exciting part about this three together, it's a combination that no any DM or no any team can predict what they would do on the day. But yet they will have a plan on each and every day because Arne Slot would have prepared them for what they have to do. So we were told that by Curtis Jones, he said that there is a lot of difference from Klopp to Slot because the Slot wants the midfield to be the heart of the game. And Klopp wanted disciplined runners to be the guys who plays at that position. And on all the occasion and everything that I've presented to you here, we see different positions from these three players. They are being rotated, yet still sticking on those same positions we think that they're playing. But when you take an in-depth look at the pass map of what Liverpool are offering, they're playing different positions. So many things that is changing into the game, allowing these guys being intelligent as they are as players to enjoy how much they can take advantages of the roles that they've been given. The likes of Van Dijk are not confident with the guys that are in front of them. Yes, they're not 100% defensive minded as we expect them to be, or whatever we want them to be. But they will do the job that Liverpool has to do. And now when you look at how I've just presented this three, maybe it gives you an understanding why Liverpool wanted to sign Martin Zubimendi. Because he's not only a DM, he's somebody who can work on all the positions in attack, movement, in everything that he does. He can play that role. That's what Arne Slot does. He wants his players to surprise the team ahead. And I remember when I was watching from James' channel, he presented something to explain how Zubimendi is very, very different from so many players, how much his game play is calculative, how much he makes it easier for the team to play, how much he is like, he makes football easier for the player next to him or the players around him. And I wonder that maybe we're excited over what we're seeing from Ryan Gravenberch, but having somebody like a Martin Zubimendi who can do something like this, who can play as a DM as well as also helping in attack, what will happen with Liverpool? Slotball. It's a phrase that I'm really hoping that maybe I get to use at some point. Got to talk about my manager saying how much he can play around, how he plays around with the movement, but it's something that we are not going to actually, as much as people, we're going to keep using it just as a general terms, because of course whenever we see passes like what we were doing against United, when we were playing around, we were putting them into boxes and doing some quick passes, and they just could not copy with how we were moving with the ball. The ball was moving fast. They kept on running around trying to get the ball until they were tired. Maybe that's slow ball, the passes, but in terms of the formation, in terms of how he's destroying each and every team he faces, that's a different ball game. That's a different ball game to what he presents. That's a different ball game to what he offers. And that's what makes it even more exciting. So what am I looking for from my manager come after international break? I just don't want him to change. I just want him to still remain the same. There's something that he said that he doesn't like referees when they interferes and he changes the game because he works and he wins the game before he even got into the pitch. And when he gets to the pitch, he just makes sure that what he has worked on is what is displayed. And if he has the likes of Soboslai who are willing to run for his cause, McAllister who are technical, alert to his cause, Ryan Gravenberch who are aggressive and progressing enough to offer what he needs in that DM position, then he's a dangerous man. Ladies and gentlemen, you might have been confused why Liverpool have not made signings yet. But I think we're getting to have an idea why there were no signings yet. Because according to what we are seeing, Slot is enjoying what he's seeing with these players. Everything that he's doing is exactly what he wants to see from his players. So it's gonna be an interesting one. So let me just open something that I wanna just do a read on what we had to be told about what Ryan Gravenberch is gonna be like according to Opta. These people understand football, people, so we always want to read them and hear what they say. So let's read what Ryan Gravenberch is really, what he has really been enjoying under Slot and what has been happening to him in terms of what he offers on the ground. So let's hear what he had to say here. What they had to say here. So according to Opta, is Ryan Gravenberch the sixth Liverpool have been looking for? Question mark. Maybe he is. Liverpool tried to sign a deep-lying midfielder in the summer, but Ryan Gravenberch, since stepping up to the staircase, claimed the spot. We also saw Trey Newton claim the same spot in the preseason game. We saw that when Curtis Jones went out, remember. When Manchester United hosted Liverpool in the Premier League on Sunday, there were 5 players on display who used to play for the Red Devil manager Erik ten Hag when he was at Ajax. 5 players, of course, not Ted Delict. Is that number 3 guy? Is it Nosri or something like that? Onana, Lisandro Martinez, as well as Ryan Gravenberch. 5. Okay. Of those 5, unfortunately, unfortunate for ten Hag, the standout player at Old Trafford was the one representing the visitors, who secured a comfortable 3-0 against their bitter rival. Ryan Gravenberch became Ajax's youngest player ever when ten Hag gave him his senior debut against PSV in 2018 at the age of 16, 130 days. He broke the record held by the legendary Clement Seedorf. Yeah, Clement Seedorf. I think that's what you say. Now at Liverpool, few expected the Ryan Gravenberch to start the Reds' first 3 games of the season. Fewer still will have to expect him to not only start in the deep lying role in the midfielder, but to shine doing so. Since Fabinho was sold last summer, Liverpool have struggled to find a suitable replacement at the base of their midfield. They missed out on the duos of Moses Caicedo and Romeo Lavia. Please don't remind us that crazy thing. To Chelsea just a year ago, eventually opted for Wataru Endo, while another new arrival, Alex McAllister, what did I just say right now? Filled in their early of 2023-2024 season before flourishing in a more advanced role. Endo had more good games than bad last season, but at the age of 31, with the new head coach in Arne Slot, Liverpool are looking for another option this summer. Real Sociedad's Martin Zubimendi, however, was of course what we wanted. However, the Spaniard international ultimately couldn't bring himself to leave his beloved hometown. Yeah, maybe it is the hometown club, not actually the club at the town. Let's just say that. He wanted to be with the mountains. Anyway, let's move on from that. Much to the changing of many Liverpool, of course, the anger that we had. The club decided the next best option was to stick with what they had, given Slot had already hinted with some of his team selection in the preseason with that he didn't see Endo as a regular starter. How would they solve the problem internally? Enter Gravenberg. Grav. Perfect start to the Premier. See you on this one, of course. I see what they're doing here. Netherlands international left Ajax for Bayern Munich in the summer of 2022, but things did not work out in the Bundesliga. He made the 33 appearances in all competition for Bayern Munich, although only 6 were starters, not even smashing 1,000 minutes overall in 2022-2023 campaign. That led to a move to Anfield last summer as part of Klopp's midfield rebuild, and Gravenberch initially impressed, particularly in the group stages of the Europa, primarily playing as one of the 2 advanced 8 again, though he didn't nail down a regular place in Klopp's starting team. Of course, we get that starting lineup. In his first season at Liverpool, Gravenberch had made 38 appearances in all competition, with 21 of those as starters, recording 4 goals and 2 assists. He only started 3 games in a row once. And prior to the beginning of 2024-2025, he had not done so since last October. Interesting. However, his new head coach and fellow Dutchman Slot has not just handed him 3 starting out of 3 already, but he has already tasked the Gravenberch playing as a deep lane. I get it. I would also think the same, but go look at the stats. He has played as a deep, but it's only one of the 3 games. And I've just shown you in the beginning of the game, of the video, showing you his heat maps, where he was taking advantage of 1. The other one, yes, he did, but 1 of those. United, he was actually playing a different position, even though there was a dip a bit, but he was making sure that he was keeping out most of the players out of the game. So I get it. They'll say that, but look at what we're seeing here. And the deep laying and the 22 midfield is thriving. After 3 games and 3 wins for Liverpool in 2024-2025, only Virgil van Dijk, 120, has attempted more passes than him, with Gravenberch finding teammate with 88.8 of his 159 to 179. Only Diaz, 24, has attempted more carrying, moving at least 5 meters with the ball than his of 40, while no one has followed no one has followed a carry with the pass as many times as his 36, showing that he is not only moving the ball with purpose, but is doing so as part of his passing movement. That's what Gravenberch is doing here. They're just giving us an idea of exactly his movement. He's going that other side, by the way. Is it this side? Yeah, I think it's this side. If you're looking at my screen where I am, that's where he's going and helping out the team in terms of attack. It's an interesting read here. I'm going to be reading here for some time. Gravenberch is also... Oh, sorry for that. Sorry for that noise that you just said. Gravenberch is also playing a key role in Liverpool's midfielder play. His passes to Mohamed Salah at Ipswich on the opening week of the season allowed the Egyptian to lay the ball to Trent Alexander-Arnold, which led to the England men fabulous return ball to release Salah, who then teared up with Jota for the opener. Oh, yes. The ball was kicked to him. He was under pressure from Konate. He held the ball. He was able to turn and he gave it to Salah. Salah bounced back the ball to him, to Trent, and Trent opened up with a good pass, allowing Salah to take advantage of the space which was in front of him. And from Salah, with that out footer, it went straight to Diogo Jota. Yes, I remember that goal vividly well because, it was the opener of the season, remember? It was the opener of the season. He thought to be playing a part in Liverpool's taking an early lead at Old Trafford. Two, he received a pass from Virgil van Dijk, letting the ball roll across him to dupe Kobe Mino before dribbling away from United youngster, feeding Diaz. The resulting goal from Alexander Arnold was ruled out of offside against Salah, but it was a sign of things to come. Yeah, that was a good movement that he did there, by the way. The movement he was able to do, taking away the ball from and making sure that Meno get nothing, move with the ball, setting it up for Diaz. Diaz crossing it. If it wasn't because of Salah's touch, that could have been an amazing goal. According to Arne Slot, in terms of his football brain, that goal that was ruled out for Trent Alexander-Arnold was going to be one of the best in terms of how the passing accurate, the movement of the game was like. So we get it. We get it. We get it. We get it. Gravenberg then intercepted a pass from Casemiro before dribbling forward after looking for several times. Go look at who Casemiro was trying to pass to in that game. If he was not trying to get to Dalot, he was trying to give to Rashford on that side, in that right side, in that left side for them. I told you, they had one direction to take advantage and use the speed of Rashford, in which Liverpool made sure that Gravenberg was positioned perfectly to stop those balls from passing him. And I think it was really important. Into the box of his left, and he waited and laid a perfect ball into the path of Salah on the right, who crossed it to Diaz to head in the opener at the back of the post. The trip to United was Liverpool's what? The trip to United was Liverpool's first big test under Slot, but it was also a big test for Gravenberg after two impressive showing against Ipswich and Brentford. Like his teammate, he rose to occasion. For the visitors on Saturday, Salah only 21 attempts, more passes in the final third than Gravenberg, who had 17. He won 7 of the 10 duels, with the only Virgil van Dijk winning as many, while he made 4 interceptions and won 3 fouls, both in the highest total for Slot's men. Hey, this guy's gonna look really good. Look at that. That's exactly what we're looking at that point that I was telling you in terms of the movement. That it feels like he was playing up forward, because look at those signs. They're telling you that this is the attacking. And like I was telling you, that position, let me use my mouse for you to see here. This position, he was a lot there because he was there to stop those passes from the midfield to the strike force of United, especially to Rashford. He did not worry over this side because he knew that McAllister got that space covered. And I think it's really important to pay attention if you look at how the game went on. But of course, we can keep talking about what Gravenberg did and what he's doing, and how far he can still go to become one of the best. But a lot of things has improved. I think I have to read this on it. His boss was pleased with Gravenberg's position, saying after the game, when asked what qualities he brings to the sixth row, his quality on the ball could be my first answer, but I think coming from Netherlands, we all know how good he is on the ball. He can be a really important player for our build-up game, but it was impressive. What impressed me the most when I started working with him was how he can run and then still how good he is when he arrives on the juice. Today we saw him with the Dominic Soboslai and Maka, how much they were able to keep on running. Sometimes you are late, but when they just kept on running and arriving on the juice, so that is one of the things that impressed me the most about him, how good he also is on without the ball. Gravenberg has been impressive without the ball. In the opening weeks of the campaign, he has made the joint most tackles for Liverpool, alongside with McAllister 8, and he has made the most interceptions, 7. In fact, just 4 players in the Premier League have made more interception. Only Dominic Szoboszlai, 19, McAllister, 18, have made more recoveries of Liverpool's Ashford players, while he is on 17. While his 17 duels won is the joint most, along with McAllister as well as Szoboszlai. So as you can see, these guys are very, very active. They are working in all the positions to help the teams function. So the whole entire game of Liverpool is really being won in the midfield, people, when you pay attention. They're working so hard to make sure that they do so. So these are just some of the things that we are seeing from what Slot is bringing to the team and what he's offering to the players who are there. And that's why I tell you that when I say that Arne Slot deserves to win the manager of this month at the moment, it's because of what he's offering. It's because of how amazing he's really been doing with the game, how he is playing a different type of a ball with every game or every team he faces, how he's showing that he still has so much to offer. I've just only told you how much the engine room of Liverpool is working under him and how much it's still confusing to tell exactly what their roles are, but they themselves, the players, understand what they're supposed to show on the pitch and how their role are changing according to what the manager is expecting them to do. And that's why I believe, and I'm still going to hit this, there's still more to come from this manager. 3 games, 3 types of plays, and nobody understands how this Liverpool squad is going to improve going forward. There's a lot that is still going to come, and I'm not saying that I'm done, but the idea of saying slot ball, I'm telling you, we're really, really far away from actually understanding what Arne Slot wants, but also we can see the tangible that is showing on the pitch, what the teams are doing and how his squad is working according to what he wants to achieve. It's exciting, people. It's exciting times, and I cannot wait to see what happens from now. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think of Liverpool's performance, and who impressed you the most, and what are you expecting from the manager of Liverpool, Slot Ball? Are you there for it, or maybe you still want to look at it from afar and actually get to understand what Slot Ball is all about? Because I still have no idea what Slot Ball is all about. But one thing I know, my manager will be calm and trusting the players that he has put out on the pitch that they will deliver. So there's going to be a lot of things that changes. Maybe we'll see maybe now the introduction of the likes of Harvey Elliott after this international break. Maybe Curtis Jones comes back into the team, and we get to see what exactly Liverpool are going to offer. And as well, we get to see the likes of Federico Chiesa coming into the pitch and what they'll do. Let me know if you want me to do more to analyze each and every position like I did on the midfield, looking at what the manager is actually asking the team to do and why the performance we've seen from the midfielders is why we deserve to award that main manager of the month. Maybe also Gravenberch, my player of the month. I don't know. I'm just throwing out there. Anyway, people, click that like button, subscribe to the Connect. Let me know what you're enjoying, and don't forget to click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're watching this on Facebook, maybe not really today, maybe during the weekend. That's why. By the way, those people who are going to be watching this video on Facebook during the weekend, this video dropped on Thursday, and you guys are watching it. Look at how many days later. That's why I really, really, really advise you guys to go follow TFC actually on YouTube, either the Football Connect LFC or the Football Connect. Just go follow us on YouTube, because you'll never miss every single time we drop an interesting video, and keep doing more analysis of what's happening over the transition of how this Liverpool squad is changing and what we can expect from them going forward. I hope you're having an amazing time, and I'll see you on another one. Click the like button, subscribe to Connect as I walk out. Peace.
Beats the goalkeeper. You're just lost for words. He is just brilliant. Georgie Best, Diego Maradona, Johan Cruyff.